Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another What's on the Shelf. Let's get into it. Okay, first up we have Shipwrights of the North Sea. This is the first game in the North Sea trilogy, and in this game you will be trying to earn victory points by constructing ships and buildings, and the game ends when one or more players constructs their fourth ship. And the game is played over a series of days or rounds, and each has three phases. The morning phase, where you receive 3 cards, the afternoon phase, where you take your actions and play or discard your 3 cards, and then the evening phase, where you receive gold and workers for the next day. You will, like I said, be constructing ships, as it is in the name of Shipwrights of the North Sea. And that is the first game on the shelf. Next up, we have the Fields of Fame expansion for Raiders of the North Sea. This adds a bunch of new components to the Raiders of the North Sea game. Get a new board, some more workers, wounds, score markers in 6 colors, and add some new tokens, Jarl tokens, as well as Valkyrie dice, which replace the dice in the base game, that add additional effects. Have some new encounter boards, multiplier tiles, new Jarl cards, and new townsfolk cards. Just adding more and a bunch of new stuff to an already good game. And next up, we have Raiders of the North Sea. And Raiders of the North Sea, you'll be doing worker placement, but it's different than most worker placement games. You will be placing a worker and doing the action, and then picking up another worker and doing that action. So you'll be doing multiple actions in one turn. And the goal of the game is to raid the different areas, to plunder the supplies, to offer offerings to the chieftain, and get the most victory points. But you'll be spending your supplies to that you get through raiding, and getting better meeples that you can place down to raid better spots to get better rewards, hopefully, and recruiting new crew members with special powers, or playing them as a one-time use ability. But that's pretty much Raiders of the North Sea. Plus, it comes with metal coins in the game by default. And next up, we have Explorers of the North Sea, the third game in the trilogy of the North Sea. And in this game, you are placing tiles and selling your ships around, and then placing wooden animal meeples onto different tiles. But you're trying to become the most prestigious captain through clever planning and navigation. Gain victory points by controlling islands, delivering livestock, raiding settlements, constructing outposts, and destroying enemy ships. The game ends at the dawn of winter, and the player with the most victory points wins. And that's pretty much it. Just laying tiles, some kind of pick up and deliver a little, and raiding and building. And next up, we have the North Sea Rune Saga. Rune Saga adds a bunch of new stuff, or some new stuff, to each of the 3 games, and also makes it where you can play through the game, all 3 games, in like a campaign style mode, where you're trying to earn these rune stones, and whoever has the most rune stones at the end, this is the ultimate North Sea winner. But you get all sorts of new stuff for each game, and new shipwright cards for shipwrights, new raider cards for raiders, and then some signed collector prints and box art prints as well, and then all the components for the runestone stuff for the Rune Saga to play through the campaign style multiple games. Next up on the list, we have Hall of Heroes, Raiders of the North Sea expansion. This expansion adds a new type of tile to the game, new quest tiles and reputation tiles. Get more townsfolk, um, some more gold, ship card, a new mead hall board, 6 new player boards, some score markers, some more multiplier tiles, and a new type of resource, mead, to spend. So, and in this, you've constructed a mead hall, attracting a new breed of adventurers. Each raid brings new quests for the daring to endure. With mead in abundance, there is little room for worry. So sharpen your axe and ready your shield. There are new adventures awaiting. On to the next thing, which is the Age of Artisans expansion for Architects of the West Kingdom. This just adds in a new player color, orange, as well as 2 double-sided player boards, a new score pad, player aid cards, a new guild hall board, a black market overlay card, new buildings, new mechanic with artisans is craft cards, and 12 new apprentice cards. And it says that the master craftsman has returned and equipped with knowledge of new crafts and tools. The guild hall has never been so busy. On to the next thing. Next up on this one, we have the Architects of the West Kingdom. In Architects of the West Kingdom, you'll be doing worker placement, but the spin on this one is some places you can put multiple workers in consecutive turns, and then that multiplies the benefit that you get. So if you place on, like, the stone production, the first time you'll get like 1 stone, the second time you'll get 2 because you have 2 worker, and so on and so forth. And you can capture the other player's workers and put them in jail or that kind of stuff to get them off the board, or you can capture your own workers and bring them back to your board. But you'll be recruiting apprentices and building buildings in this game, and trying to score the most points. Next up, we have Paladins of the West Kingdom. In Paladins of the West Kingdom, you will select a paladin to assist you, along with 6 new workers. In turn order, moving clockwise around the table, players will take a single action on their turn. This continues, each player taking 1 action at a time until all players have passed. Once players have passed, there's a reset of the main board, new townsfolk and outsiders before proceeding into the next round. But I really like in this one the Paladin mechanic, where you draw 2 of your paladins, you pick one to play as your active paladin, you put the other on the bottom of your deck. It determines some bonuses you get for that round temporarily, and also some extra workers that you get. But after that, we have Viscounts of the West Kingdom. And in Viscounts of the West Kingdom, it's each round consists of a player taking 1 turn, followed by the player to their left, clockwise around the table, and so on. All victory points will be calculated at the end of the game. Players will be moving through a number of phases each turn, the main objective being to move their Viscount clockwise around the main board and take 1 to 4 primary actions, or 1 of 4, and potentially hire new townsfolk. The phases that players take each turn are laid out from left to right on their player boards. So you'll do your card management, then your movement, then your primary action, and then recruit, resolve collisions, and then draw cards. This is a lot of fun. This is actually my favorite of the West Kingdom trilogy. Just a lot of combos, building buildings, upgrading your board by removing those buildings from it, getting the bonuses and whatnot. But that is Viscounts of the West Kingdom. Up next, we have the West Kingdom Tome Saga expansion. Just like the Rune Saga expansion, it adds bonus content to all 3 of the previous games, as well as the campaign style version where you play through all 3 games with a bunch of new components. And then this one you can play with just 1 or 2 or whatever. It says While in campaign mode, players will be competing in an epic quest to collect the most tomes and earn their place among the chronicles of their people. On to the next thing. We have Raiders of Scythia. Raiders of Scythia is like a remake version of Raiders of the North Sea. This one comes with a solo mode and a few other new mechanics or differences. But I prefer this one now over Raiders of the North Sea with the base game, but Raiders is better with the expansions added in. But that's pretty much the differences between Raiders of Scythia and Raiders of the North Sea. And then up next we have Calico, and Calico is a quilt making game where you're playing tiles, trying to match patterns, and get cats to come lay on your quilt for points, and sew buttons by putting matching colors together. And then you have random scoring tiles, 3 of them on your board, that you're trying to also try to score the most points. They have 2 different scoring things, either match the pattern or match the color, or if you can do both, you get both sets of points. But that's pretty much Calico. And then on to the next thing, which is Cascadia. Cascadia, we will be drafting tiles and laying them tiles off of your starting 3 tile section. Then you'll also be, when you take a tile, there'll be an animal token underneath that, and you'll take that as well. And then you place the tile in your area, and then you place the animal token on one of those, and you score your points based off of these random scoring objective cards that are out. That'll have one of each type. That might want you to have 3 elk in a row, or fish in a line, or whatever, or triangle shapes, or pairs of bears, or whatever. And you'll score points on those and on how big your areas are if they're over a certain amount. And then lastly on this shelf is Nidavelir. And in Nidavelir, you will be playing over a series of rounds like most games. But you'll start off with the entrance of the dwarves, where you will place the dwarves into the taverns. And then the cool thing in this one, everyone starts off with their set of coins, and you will secretly bid on each of the locations, and then you will reveal your bids, and whoever has the highest coin determines the active player, and then ties are sorted out by the GM, whoever has the highest GM. And then on your turn, you choose one of the tavern cards to be resolved, recruit a hero if the conditions are met, and then swap coins if you played your value 0 coin. And then it goes on to the next player. When each person has played, proceed to the trading gems between the players, tied for a given coin value, then proceed to the resolution of the next tavern. Then go back to step 1. But yeah, you'll be playing cards, recruiting new dwarves, and yep, I haven't got a chance to play this yet, so I'm looking forward to it, but just haven't had time. And also in here I have the Nidavelir expansion, which adds a new recruiting location called the camp, and then new hero cards, reference cards, scoring pad, class tokens, camp cards, mercenary artifact cards, but just more stuff and a new area. And if you liked what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below to keep up to date with my latest videos. And as always, have a great day.